if I look like an absolute mess, it's because of the fact that I just got off work a little while ago, and I do feel like now is a good time for me to actually talk about the new job. I kind of been, I haven't really been like, I don't think I've been hush hush about it. I just feel like it really hasn't been much to actually talk about. But considering what happened throughout the course of the past 2 days, I feel like now is a great time to actually talk about this because I did not expect this to happen so quickly. Um, in any case, so when I got the job, I was working. I'm working overnight. Once again, it's stocking position. You know, what I'm saying I take stuff off truck, put it on the shelf, and like I said, and on my good days are spectacular. My bad days not so great. My bad days are actually the worst days. My bad days are days where like no. Okay, so the problem is that like obviously if the truck is smaller, there's less people. If the truck is smaller, there's less people working on it. So what would normally happen is that like during that time, uh, when there's less people working on it, I find myself having to work by myself. And apparently it's just like I said, once it gets to a specific area, I'm gonna say tools. That's when things get really, really, really bad for me. So if I'm working by myself on tools, it's my kryptonite. It's just my worst enemy. But it's like when we're working together as a team, mwah, like just absolute synchronism, absolute like spectacularness. But when we have to kind of work on our own thing, I always find myself like in a really bad spot. And sometimes like people who are expecting to leave at 5 end up leaving at like 6 because they have to help me. And I'm actually very ashamed of that. In any case, though, I was always under the impression that like the managers or whoever is in charge has basically been telling the powers that be, hey, this guy probably might not, cut the mustard. You know what I'm saying? The so I was always so like I looked at my schedules, and my schedule for this week and the following week was just one day. I only had like one day to work, and my brain started my schedule when I was immediately hit survival mode. I was just like, how am I going to survive with tiny paychecks and like look for another job at the same time? Like it's just like it feels like nothing's changed since I was unemployed, right? So the whole idea was that I was really, really nervous about it. But then I remembered that my job offers up like training courses. My job offers up training courses that can actually like get you to like learn about how to use certain construction equipment. You can also get like certified for certain things as well. So you can get certified. Obviously, the certifications will help you obviously increase your paycheck just a little bit. But also, it's certifications that are verified outside of work. So I can say, oh, I took this course at this time, and that actually like benefits you. You know what I'm saying? And the even better thing about these courses is that like you have to be like clocked in order to do it because you can't take those courses outside of work. So I only had one day of work. So I basically called up the powers that be, and I called them up and I said, hey, um, real quick, is it possible? I only have like one day of work next week. I don't. This was last week. I only have one day of work. Is it cool if I come by and devote some hours into learning and into taking these courses and trying to like get certified for certain things? The powers that be basically said, yeah, you could do that. So I'm like, this is what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not completely in the red zone. I was already like planning on how I was going to go about doing that. And but then before I actually could like hang up the phone, they asked me, hey, by the way, are you available tomorrow, which is today? Are you available tomorrow for 6 o'clock in the morning, from 6 o'clock to 3? And I'm like, well, I'm only working like one day a week, so absolutely, I'm absolutely available. Like more days, yeah, let's go, right? So I'm already getting ready to. I'm already getting ready to like take this 6 to 3 shift today, and then like start trying to rack up courses and like try to rack up certifications. That was the goal. The goal was to take what little bit of empty days I had and go there and actually start doing the courses to rack up some hours and also some certifications. Um, but so I'm like, but I was like, yeah, sure, more days, let's go. And then the powers that be basically said, okay, by the way, so would you be available for the following day as well? Once again, I only had like, once again, the the day that I initially had plus the day that you're including, that's only like 3 days worth of work. So like, yeah, I'm all up for that. Like to go from 1 day to 3 days, by all means. So they basically said, okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in those days, and whatever other days I have available, I'll let you know about it. You can like let me know when you're ready to do this. I end up getting a text from the power. I end up getting a text like later on that day. Hey, by the way, I added all the days that I would like for you to show up. I added all the days I would like for you to show up. By all means, and like call me up if you have any issues or anything like that. Yada yada yada. I checked the schedule to see how many days, because she said days, like with the exception of those only two. Like it sounded like more. So I checked my schedule. Once again, before my schedule, I had 2 weeks, 2 days, which means I only worked 1 day a week. I checked my schedule again, 10 days, 5 days for 1 week, 5 days another week. In my brain, I'm wondering what just happened, right? Don't know what happened, but I'm glad that it did because I went from having 2 to 10 days, and I'm like, and they're all like 8 hour shifts. It's like apparently, like I said, I was working up. Technically, I was working a full time shift, so I'm like, okay, let's go, no problem, right? It wasn't really a full time shift, but it was just like that. It was a lot of hours for a lot of days, but I'm like, okay, that is like I'm guessing that the person who was supposed to work that position or whatever, they probably might have had a leave of absence or something. I don't know what, but I'm like okay, yeah, give me the hours. I need them. I'm broke, so there's that. What initially, and then and then I could still stick around and do my training. No props. I am all up for this. So the whole idea was that so I ended up getting more hours, and while I'm at work, which is once again today, like I'm getting asked, hey, by the way, are you the new pro loader? New pro loader? I was just called up here to help out. I say I don't know. Like nobody said anything about pro loader to me. They just told me, are you available to come for thus and such time on thus and such date, right? So I'm like, yeah, why not? I don't know anything about being a pro loader, nothing like that. I was just helping out. But yeah, one of the people who was responsible for scheduling was like one of the people who was responsible for scheduling was like, hey, do me a favor before you go. Let me know how you feel about doing your job today. Because went from overnight stalker to this pro loader position that they're talking about. So I talked to them and they just basically told me, this position is going to be up for grabs pretty soon. So I'm going to give you, like I said, that's why I'm giving you the 2 weeks to get your feet wet and feel out this spot that you're trying to get. I'm trying to get. I don't know. It's okay, fine. It's like I said, more hours. I'm already. You had me at the hours, so I'm already ready to do the hours. I'm ready to just do what I need to do in order to maintain this. But my brain just went, hey, did I just get promoted? In any case, and also like the crazy part is that younger me would be excited about this. I'll probably be like screaming and hollering, "Oh my god, I got promoted! Wow, guys, this might be it. This might be the good thing." Like younger me would have been excited about this. No, actually, God, no. Younger me would have been just as. Oh man, I have not matured in decades because younger me doesn't get excited about stuff like that either. In any case, though, on one hand, I do like the idea that I just like the idea that I got more hours. I like the idea that I got a chance to do a little bit more work and kind of get my get a little bit more money out of this. I like that part, but also like because like I do know this check is going to be practically gift wrapped for me. But another part of me is just sort of thinking that like the bad guy from Final Destination is gonna pop up and be like, "Did I just hear that something really, really, really good is about to happen to you?" Because we can't have that, bro. You gotta suffer, bro. You gotta go through some stuff, bro. Don't get in your car tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Cause like this is like right. Okay, so it's like I had to actually do a count my blessings type ordeal today because it's like I'm getting more hours at work. I have a roommate. My bills are mostly paid for. I do get like I do get paid for doing YouTube. I still need to like get a whole bunch of super thanks for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm at this point right now where I'm actually at this point right now where between now and my next check, now and my following check, I actually have a chance to save up money and like put up some money towards going back to training, put up some money towards like paying off that credit card debt that's been hanging over my head since I got here to Texas in the first place, or just saving up money. I can finally save up money again. There's a possibility that I can finally save up money. You know what I mean? One of the few things that I've always wanted to do was just earn enough so that I could pay off my expenses and then save the rest. That's all I wanted to do. And I'm now in a position like I believe that my following check, not the check I'm going to be getting soon, but the following one is going to be one that I'm going to be able to do that with. And on the other side of that, I'm thinking to myself, this might be like I might also be just 1 week away from getting into a T-bone accident that just causes my brain to literally fly out of my head. You know what I'm saying? Just like like Nick Hogan might just be on the road again. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing, so it's like on one hand I'm excited, but on one hand I'm excited, but I'm not excited enough to be like happy about it because I'm too busy. Because whenever something really, really, really good is happening to me, and whenever things actually start to look up for me, something really, really, really bad happens right before I'm about to read the awards. So on one hand, I think I just got on one hand, I think I just got like promoted and I'm happy about it. On the other hand, I'm going to be like really, really, I'm genuinely scared about what the future has in store for me. Because, like, once again, the last time I had this opportunity to get things the way I needed it for it to be, I got into a car accident after MechaCon where the Power Rangers were at. And I didn't have a car for like months. You know what I'm saying? Coming back from New Orleans. At some point, I gotta like actually like talk about that too because I was like I said I was at the MechaCon. It was it was like the Power Rangers were there. That's a whole nother story. In any case, though, like I said, but I want to end this on a positive note because this is essentially a positive video. I think I got promoted, especially from a job where I didn't think I was actually even doing that good in. So if things are going the way that I think that they're going, oh my God, why is my lip? Is the Bell's palsy coming back? Okay, but if things are going the way that I expected they would, I would probably be saving up some money and getting myself back on track. Maybe even get a gaming console so I could like actually start streaming on here, which is something I've been trying to do for years now. So yeah, let's be positive, but also let's be cautious because Final Destination, I don't think that was just a movie, but also I haven't even watched it yet, so I don't know. In any case, I didn't expect it to happen this fast, but I am glad that it's happening. I just hope I have a good reason to be glad. Love and peace, y'all.